Good evening, guys. DeathClock Dave here, and welcome to another Wednesday night live stream battle report recap. This evening we had Mr. Pat putting Badminton playing his Trollbloods versus myself playing Convergence pairing. Pat, what were you playing this evening for your pairing?
My pairing was Borka 2 with double Long Riders and a lovely little list of Doomshaper3 with all the Maulers.
All right. And Borka was in Band of Heroes.
Yes, he was.
And Doomshaper3 was
Power of Dunia.
Okay, cool. And I was playing Locke. So this is a Locke list that I played a bit last year, so it's been a while. Locke with all the heavies in Destruction Initiative, of course, and then Father Lucant in Clockwork Legions. And Pat, what did you choose to play this evening?
Well, I ended up choosing to play my Doomshaper3 list, and the reason for that is because honestly, I'd actually planned to play the Doomshaper3 list no matter who I played against or what I played against. I only threw together the Borka list last minute because you decided to get all technical and wanted me to actually put a list pairing up. So I did that despite of you.
Sounds good. So Pat, how many Maulers did your list have?
My list had 4 Maulers, Mulg, a Rune Bearer, and an Axer, two batches of Whelps, and a Minstone with the Stone Scribe Elder.
Yeah, there's a lot of beef in there. So I opted to play Locke.
Dave took it all.
Yes. I didn't want to play Clockwork Legions because if you did happen to play Band of Heroes, it has RFP, which makes Clockwork Legions very sad because then I cannot bring my dudes back, and Long Riders kill stuff pretty good. So not that'd be a bad idea. So yeah, I picked Locke, and Locke in general is typically pretty good into Hordes because it plays well into her feet. So we were playing Scenario 4, which is Invasion, and Pat, you won the roll and opted to go second. Any particular reason for that?
Yeah. Honestly, given all the Maulers and everything, I didn't want to be forcing myself too much to have to dish out as much Pathfinder as possible, so I opted to go for the side that had me dealing with less rough terrain. Okay,
fair enough. So we're playing Invasion, which is Scenario 4. We have a circular zone on the right and left flank, which are Warcaster Warlock units. We had lots and lots of units in this in these armies. I think we had 1 unit between the two of us.
Yeah, I had a unit of the stone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. So 1 unit each. Yeah. And in the center of the table, we have a vertically oriented, words are hard, rectangular zone, which are Warcaster Warlock, Warbeast Warjack Battle Engine, and we have an objective at either end of the zone as well. And Pat, what did you choose for your objective?
I chose the one that gives out Pathfinder. Okay. And you know what, Dave? After 35 years, I thought you would have figured out your orientations by now.
Yes, this is very true. All the pudding. So you chose Path. I think you forgot to hand it out the entire game. I chose Healing, and I
did once.
You did once? Okay. I saw you casting Rush everywhere. I'm like, okay. And I chose Healing, and I think I probably forgot to use it the entire game as well. So
I believe you did.
Yep. At the bottom of the screen, on the left, we have a wall. Above that, we have rubble, which is rough terrain and cover fully within. To the right of that, we have a forest. Down below, we have a hill. To the far right, we have water. Far to above and to the right of that, we have another forest under Pat's army there. To the left, we have a house, and to the left of that, we have another forest. So for my deployment, I put Locke central. I wanted to put her so she could just go to the left of that rough terrain. Corollary beside her, because he doesn't care about the rough terrain. I've got an assimilator to the right of the corollary because he also does not care about the rough terrain. Inverter on the right is going to go past that rough terrain just to the right. I've got a galvanizer on the far right. All the way to the left of Locke, I have a diffuser, I have my cipher, I have inverter, and to the far left of that, a conservator, and then I have an arc node on either flank, and then a smattering of servitors all along the back, and my mechanics following my cipher as well. So How are you deploying here, Pat?
I'm deploying with all the heavy models because about 90% of my army is pewter.
Yeah, there's a lot of beef there.
So what I do is I make a solid line of the Mulg in the center with the Maulers, with one Mauler to the right of him and 3 Maulers to the left of him. Just behind them, I put Doomshaper with his Scroll Bearer and the Rune Bearer. I also put the stone right in behind them, so I basically make one hardened spear point. And out of the 10 whelps that I've got with me, I set up one of them on the far each side, so I can just sort of contest the zones.
Yep.
Make you waste some shots chasing them down.
No, that makes sense. On this list, I was happy about that because those are the one models, basically, other than your stones, that are my Road to War targets, because I have to kill a model, and everything except for your stones are all very difficult to kill. This list definitely likes single wound infantry, because then I can proc Road to War all over the place. So my plan is to get up the board, get in positions where I'm going to have sentry on my diffuser, because I want my diffuser in a spot where if you run too far, my sentry can shoot you on my my diffuser can shoot you in my maintenance phase, because that gives beacon, which is +2 distance when I charge and free charges. And basically just threaten. I know you got a ton of beef on the board. Your feat is going to be a real pain.
Yeah, and thanks to my running power of Dunia, I get to start with an upkeep up, which in Dunia's cape. In Doomy 3's case, he's only got the one upkeep, which is Admonition.
Admonition even,
Yeah, Admonition, which is a really great one. So I put that up and put it on Mulg. So if you get too close to Mulg, he's going to come say hi.
Or he's going to move away and not get killed. That's also a thing. So.
Yeah. I know, you remember me doing that to your Hurricane back in the day.
That's good times. So I've gone with Locke. I spent all of her focus to put out all of her upkeeps. So I've got Road to War on Locke because it's a self. I put Red Line on the far right inverter, and I put Sentry on the diffuser. Moved up the corollary. Corollary handed out one focus so that the entire line is going to be able to run. I ran the inverter up and rolled for his red line damage. I think he took 1 or 2 points. And now I'm just running up the rest of my stuff. So basically ran up the assimilator. I wanted the assimilator up really far on the off chance that Pat gives me some shots at his caster. And other than that, just running all the heavies up. So I'm using that focus to go through the entire line. I think I misplayed my left galvanizer a bit. I was thinking he was going to flank around to the left of that house, but he should have been in close to the other heavies, because the plan for my galvanizers was to try and boost and get crit Grievous, because Pat's feat is redonkulous, and Pat's dudes also your field marshal gives him healing as well. Yeah.
So Doomy 3's field marshal, hyper regeneration. So much fun.
So I knew the galvanizers were going to be key pieces in this army, but I feel that I misplayed the left one because he was going too far out to the left. I think I was originally thinking maybe he was going to go around that house and be in potential charging areas there. So Pat spent some time asking about my threat ranges just to verify, because some of my stuff can go pretty far if all the...
And after Dave told me and corrected himself 6 times in a row, we finally figured out the real threat ranges.
Yes, I forgot all of the movement shenanigans. So I've got +2 from my diffuser, +2 from red line, and potentially a +3 from any Road to War movement that you allow me to proc.
So given the fact that under the stone, pretty much all my war beasts are armor 20 or 21, I'm not too worried about your shooting, that and the hyper regeneration. So I quickly just activate my whelps. I run them up just to tow them in the zones. Make sure you got to go after them. Start with my Axer. He just does a little hop up, and he gives the Mauler closest to him rush, so that he gets the +2, but most importantly, so we can get Pathfinder. So, and from there on, it's basically just everybody starts running like crazy, because we want to get a big meaty list like this right into the enemy.
Yeah.
So I start off by I run Mulg. I put him in base contact with the objective, followed by the Mauler, who got rush, and I get him up there just a little bit past Mulg, also in base contact with Mulg.
They're effectively running 12 if they want to go that far.
My extreme Mauler got up, touching the objective, and then my next 2 Maulers They both run, making all 3 of them in base to base and staying just outside of your threat.
Yeah.
I think we were about less than a quarter inch.
Yeah. I think if I procced a Road to War, I could probably get a guy in, but that doesn't really get me a whole lot. I just
that's what I realized. If you come in at me with one guy, that is probably one of the worst things you could do at this point.
I maybe kill one dude and then I lose my heavy the next turn.
Exactly. So, and from here on, move up my Rune Bearer, gives Harmonious Exaltation to Doomy 3. I turn around, I cast Implacability, which is an amazing spell.
Very good in this matchup.
Keeps your battle group from getting knocked down, pushed, moved, all that sort of fun stuff. Then just move up Doomy 3 and the Stone unit, popping the Aura. And of course, with a min stone, Doomy has no problem just filling it right up. So I did that. And that was pretty simple for the first turn. It's pretty much just form up into a big meaty missile and start waving around out there.
And Pat, how much fury did you leave yourself on?
How much fury?
You left yourself on 0.
Yes, I did.
All right. So here, one mistake that I think you made, and this is if you haven't played against Road to War, then that's easy to miss. You actually put your whelp within 9 inches of my puncture bot, which allows me to sit to aim and potentially proc Road to War, because again, those whelps are basically my only Road to War target.
Yeah, that was my bad, and I actually thought your range was shorter, so I thought that you'd at least have to move to come get me.
Yeah, as soon as you sat there, I was like, I grabbed my 9-inch, and I'm like, that might be interesting. So
yeah, that lady, she loves grabbing his 9-inch.
Yep. So I took my sentry shot at your Mauler on the left, or on my left flank. It did. I think it might have actually done a point of damage or something.
Yes, you did do a point of damage.
But it got beacon up, so I'm +2 speed if I charge, and I charge for free potentially. Yeah. I think you left yourself outside of all the threats anyway. Other than me proccing a Road to War. So here's what my plan was. So I moved up my assimilator, which is speed 5, and I was able to get the ground pounder template just within 11 inches just to clip Doomy. So
yeah, and we even moved Mold just to make sure, but since I was in base contact with everyone, we knew exactly where to put him back.
And with ground pounder, you only have to see a portion of the AoE. So even though he's got line of sight blocked to Doomy, I just place the template where I can see part of the template, and then I roll. So I boosted on Doomy, I boosted the hit, I boosted the damage. I did a fair chunk. Yeah, there's the...
Oh, it was pretty solid. I think you did 6 or 7 damage to Doomy on that first one.
So I figured that was a pretty good way to start off. And I think I did basically nothing to your beast. I can't remember what I rolled. It's dice off 7 or something.
Honestly, you caught me by surprise with that ground pounder, because I thought with all my guys in base to base, with that block in the line of sight, you wouldn't be able to get any shots on
ground pounder. Is a very, very nifty ability. It gets around a lot of the typical shooting tech. Did I kill a stone there too? I can't remember if I killed the stone guy or not. I don't remember.
I do not think so.
So here I'm just getting. I want to get a couple of servitors in the way. I'm going to use my Cypher to put down a couple of rough terrain templates. He does have rush and he does have the objective, but it forces him to use those resources if he wants to get to me. So just planning out where the servitor is going to land, where the AoE is going to land, and I'm leaving myself out of charge range of all of his beasts is the plan. So
so the dance begins.
Yeah, I did not want to be charged by 15 pound 19 maulers. So
yes, people, he's that bad at math.
Yep. So I boosted a shot onto my servitor and hit, does no damage, and landed the one template there. The other one scattered a little bit and landed in a good spot as well. So there's lots of rough terrain right there, at least forcing the rushes.
Yes, you forced me to be Russian.
Yes. And then I'm basically I make sure all of my models are outside of 11
inches.
So just to make him come to me. If he wants to run at me, that's fine. But I like I said, I did not want super high raging maulers getting into me. So 11-inch measuring stick was used lots on this turn.
They just want to hug you.
I take 2 more damage on my inverter that basically just ran. And I move my I moved my galvanizer up and healed my inverter as well, just to kind of keep him up, so he doesn't eventually lose something from the red line damage. I run my conservator here. I'm trying to put him somewhere where he can't get charged. I realize I have to get him pretty far back.
There's only one little corner you can't get charged
Yeah, well, I was thinking you were going to have to clip the house, but I had to move him a bit farther back. Moved up the galvanizer. I probably should have just moved him past the house, and I'm like, oh, I don't want him to get charged either. It would have been fine if you had sent something over that way. It would have kind of split things up a little bit, but I moved him back behind the house to prevent him from getting charged anyway, just to be safe. And then I'm just running models. I want to keep my arc nodes alive for potential jackhammer targets, because that can also they're arcing for jackhammers, because that can catch people off guard as well. So run one up behind the wall, run the other just kind of over behind the forest. And I've got Locke up there behind my objective. I didn't do anything with her focus this turn. So and that is over to you, Pat.
Yep.
And I did not feat.
So seeing what you've done and stuff with all the ground pounders and all that funness, it's like, we got a little bit of rough terrain, but this list doesn't mind too much, especially with the Pathfinder objective.
Yeah, Pathfinder objective and all the rush everywhere.
Oh yeah. So the nice thing about Doomy3 is he's a Fury 7 caster, so especially with Rune Bear making things a little cheaper for that first one, you can actually spread out quite a lot.
Yep.
Spread out the magic and give out the love.
And he adds +2 to your control range as well, right?
Oh god, yeah.
So you're 16. You're same as me. Basically, that's what my core
16
does, so.
control.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. So I get looking at things here and do a little bit of the think tank, because let's face it, every game that happens. So especially the fun ones, because you gotta try out new things and just have some fun and see what kind of crazy shenanigans this can do.
Yep. Oh, I did sit to aim and shot your whelp and move my assimilator back out of charge range. So that was the one thing that was important.
Yeah, because that was a big part of this list. Is after we did a team event last weekend, I really wanted sort of a palate cleanser from the serious list. So I threw this together and I wanted to just have some crazy fun. I thought it was kind of funny how much you were analyzing everything and doing our list choices and so on before. So
I just wanted it to be a proper eye drop, because I just wanted it to be a proper thing there. But yeah.
Oh come on, all games are proper. Yeah. If you're having fun with people, it's a fun game.
Oh yeah, I wanted it to be tournament like, so we both got 2 lists. So yeah.
So. Once I get figuring out a few things, check some ranges and so on, and get doing a bit of measuring and figuring out, okay, I want to start punching Dave in the balls. So first up, the Axer gives. I believe the Axer gave the top mauler there a lovely bit of rush, so we could just waltz through all the lovely difficult terrain that Dave made.
Yep.
Checked it out with a proxy base, and it worked just fine. So my mauler just moves up. He walks up there, and first initial, he smacks and crushes your ball.
Yep.
And then he just reaches out with the other hand, grabs the other one nice and firmly, and just gives it a good crush.
Yep. That hurts the balls.
Yep.
You have procced Hand of Vengeance, which was my plan. So the conservator goes to Mat 7 POW 17 for killing a warrior model within 5 inches of him.
Yep. Which, I got to admit, that is a really good ability.
POW 17 versus all your stuff, the one you're...
Yeah, this list isn't too worried about things like that. This list is very much... the idea was just, I'm just going to face tank whatever the heck you got. Because, if you can get through it, good on you. I've got redundancies and with hyper regeneration and whelps that'll... It's
a lot of beef.
It'll help me get through that, so...
It's pretty...
Oh yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
It's fun. Some of the things your armies can do when you go digging, trying to figure things out.
Yep.
So once I do that, I go up to Doomy. Figure it's time for the boss to do some things. So cast Implacability, of course, because great spell. Anyone out there who's playing Doomy3, cast that every turn.
Very good.
It is an amazing spell.
Especially when you can cast it for 1, right?
Oh yeah, with the Rune Bearer, casting it for 1 makes it great.
My macro pummelers want to be knocking you down. That's huge in this matchup. So
then I tucked him in right behind the objective, currently between the Mulg and the Extreme Mauler. And I believe, and I popped my feet, which is great because that now means that all of my guys would get an additional die on melee attack rolls. But the most important thing here is when a model in his battle group that's in his control range is hit by an enemy, after the attack is resolved, I get to remove D3 plus 3 damage points from the model. And remember, folks, that's on a hit.
So on a hit. So even if I don't damage, it procs the healing afterwards. That's pretty huge.
And it's done after everything's resolved. So if your opponent does hurt you, then you'll the health points go down. They go right back up.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And that just makes it a little bit of a pain.
It's redonkulous. You also healed up a little bit on Doomy. You did your hyper regen.
The hyper regen on both the Mauler up top. He healed the 1 point you did last time, and Doomy healed back some points.
A couple, I think, or something.
So. I turn around and use the objective to put rush, or to put I use the objective to give Pathfinder to one of the Maulers to be able to get him through there, and I put rush on the Extreme Mauler to get him through the forest and up there. I moved those 3 guys up, keeping them in base contact, because that's just a mean wall of muscle that you can't ignore that.
No, it's coming for me.
And honestly, the way your army's split up, you're kind of in a bad position to deal with that group. See, I know that you don't like Mulg, so
I hate that guy.
That's why I set it up so that Mulg was with 1 Mauler going one side of the objective, and the 3 Maulers are going the other way. Because one way or another, you gotta divide your attention. And it's going to be painful.
Well, it's a lot of beef. I can't normally. I can just put a couple of heavies onto one heavy, take it out, and then you're good. But
with Maulers, I mean, the fact that they're still Fury 5, giving them rage, you're hit. That brings some power strength 19 under the stone strength from the aura. That's a power strength 20.
It's ridiculous.
That's going to wreck any heavy out there.
It's pretty bad.
Oh yeah, I mean, if I'm not charging you, if I just walk up and do the attacks, you're looking at 21 power strength 20 attacks.
It's redonkulous. So right there, you had a quick look to see if you could potentially run Mulg to engage.
To try to engage
Locke,
Locke,
but it was just out by a bit.
Yeah, I was short, so I decided instead to run him up and get him in base to base with the Mauler, making him myself another little meat wall there. And from there, I double check to see where I need to get the stone, and pop the aura and run it up to make sure I get everybody covered. And it's your turn.
All right. So here I know this is definitely going to be feet turn because everything is going to be in range. I hate Mulg, and I know Mulg needs to die. And I know I'm going to have to put at least probably 3 heavies into Mulg to make sure that he dies, because every time I hurt him, so he's armor 20.
He goes up to armor 21.
So he's 21. Every time I hit him, he's healing at least 4 back. So I'm going to attempt to get I want to leverage my right hand galvanizer to attempt to get a crit Grievous on Mulg to make it a little easier. I figure maybe I'll put a little bit of damage on at least one of the other heavies, but Mulg is my main target because he hits really hard on his own, let alone with rage.
Not to mention the fact he's an arc node now.
So Mulg, I don't know whether it's just bad memories from Mark II, but it's just like Mulg must die. It's kind of ingrained in my brain. So I'm going to try and take him out. I believe you also have not. Is this the turn? I don't think the Mauler is touching the zone. So I think I'm going to plan. My plan is to run my mechanics over into the left zone to start scoring there.
Yeah, that was a mistake on my part.
Yes,
I should have had my Mauler over about. I wasn't off by much. It was about a quarter of an inch.
Yeah, not much, and you would have been in there. So I was happy to see that. So I know I'm going to have to cast Engine of Destruction. The issue with a melee army, it's not as bad now because we're grouped up pretty good. With induction becomes difficult when you're charging because oftentimes you charge outside of the induction range of 6 inches. But luckily you're close enough that most of my focus is going to be able to induct. I think I did the sentry shot as well, and I got the sentry shot from my diffuser onto Mulg and managed to hit him.
Yes, you did.
I think I might have missed the first one, but I forgot he has luck, so re-rolled that.
Yep. Yeah, you got it on there.
So you've got Beacon on Mulg, so that's going to be free charges and plus 2.
And now you're taking a shot on my stone unit.
Yep. This is for the So I'm doing a flare on the stone unit. I want to try and get my far right hand elimination servitor onto one of your stones to try and proc a Road to War move. I'm not quite sure. Oh yes, I know where I'm wanting that to go. I'm wanting that to go to get the galvanizer out from behind the inverter, so that he can charge. So that's I think I'm on the right hand side galvanizer. I am misplayed him a little bit as well because he needed to be kind of leading in front a little bit of the heavies, so he could go in and potentially apply the crit grievous before the heavies go in. So he needed to be a little bit forward, so the Road to War will potentially allow me to proc that. But I hit and I damaged the stone member, but you rolled a tough, so sadly that is no Road to War. Now I'm going with Locke. I move back, so I've just got Doomy within 16 inches, and then I cast Engine of Destruction and I feat, so that your admonition goes away, because it's effectively a control-wide purification, and then so I've got Engine of Destruction up, so that puts all of my heavies to mat 9. Now I'm figuring out where everybody needs to land to try and put the most hurt that I can on Mulg. So move the Conservator up. I can't really. I could potentially have charged him at Mulg, but it would have been really hairy getting my other heavies in there, and he's the lowest POW of my heavies. So I put him into the Mauler. I don't think I end up doing a whole lot because I'm POW 17 versus your armor of 20.
Armor 20.
And then you're healing up at least 4 each time. So
Exactly. And in fact, your first attack hit and actually did a few points of damage. Your second attack hit, failed to do damage, but went with the D3 plus 3 health gain. I actually healed him right back up to full.
Because I think I was, and rather than buying extra attacks, I was opting to boost to try and do more damage, because that's more bang for my buck rather than volume of attacks. So I move Elimination Servitor out. I shot.
Which honestly, I think it's the best thing to do in the situation when every attack is a potential to heal.
You need
trying
to
go for the
max
big dice
damage,
is definitely your best bet.
So I did manage to shoot a stone member, and I procced Road to War, so I Road to Ward my Galvanizer out from behind the inverter, so he's now in such a spot that he can actually charge and get onto Mulg. I can, of course, see through and move through my own objective, so just proxying it out here to make sure I can get there, and he charges for free. And he's got plus 2 inches of speed because of the beacon. I have 1 focus on him. I think it was just 1 on him. 1 or 2, I can't remember. And I boost to hit. I managed to get the crit, luckily. That's crit grievous. I'm POW 12 versus your 20 or something.
21.
So yeah, it doesn't do a whole lot, but it does apply the crit grievous. Guys.
Yeah, I know that crit grievous was definitely a pain in the butt.
That was huge for sure. So that made me more confident that I was going to be able to remove Mulg this turn. And I've got all my guys are close enough that the induction is going to be able to bounce between my heavies. So sadly, Mulg cannot be knocked down though.
Nope, the implacability is awesome.
But I'm at 9, which makes up for that for sure. So I have gone in with my inverter. I believe I charged because I charged for free, and I'm swinging. I have 3 focus on him. So the first one is POW 20, which is dice off 1. Obviously cannot be knocked down. And then the subsequent.
And I start pooping whelps.
Yep. Now this is where it could have gotten a little interesting because you could have put the whelps in front of you to block charge lanes, but then you give me Road to War targets. So that's a little, it's kind of...
I did think about that, and I didn't want to give you the Road to War targets.
Yeah, in this matchup, it's probably a better plan to have them back behind. So the inverter did a good amount of damage with the POW 20 and 4... total of 4 POW 17s. With no crit grievous.
Just killed Mulg.
I left him on a few points.
Yeah, right. You left him on a couple.
The Cypher killed him with I think 1 focus left.
Another good reason to leave the whelps there is after you kill Mulg, suddenly you've got a roadblock target. Because I've been popping them in there and lining them up, so then he can't just walk through. He's got to try to trample with a heavy or find something.
They're in the way for sure.
That's one thing a lot of people I find don't think of is they can block charge lanes pretty good. So you can always do some fun things with them.
Yeah, they're good at being in the way. So when the Cypher killed them all, I rode toward my assimilator up a bit, getting closer to the caster. And then I believe I shot a flare bot. Yes, so I shot a flare bot and missed, but I don't scatter far enough to completely miss, I believe. I can't remember if I missed or I hit.
No, you didn't. I think you scattered 1 inch.
Yeah,
that was the measure.
Okay.
Yeah, that was so not far enough to do anything different. So you still hit Doomy though, and you did another. I think it was 5 or 6 points of damage.
Oh, this is the assimilator shot. Yeah, after the flare shot. So so I put a decent amount on Doomshaper. I'm in such a spot where nothing has engaged me, and I'm not engaging anything. So I'm just touching the forest, so I can see through to place that template down.
Oh, Dave.
Cleared. I think I cleared a couple more stone members, which is good because it lessens the aura. I think
it does shrink it down because you can only have 1 fury per member of the group.
Right.
Which, keep in mind, Troll players, if you want that aura even bigger, sorcerers are great add-ons.
Oh, because it counts as a member.
It counts as a member.
Nice. So I have gone ahead and I have charged your extreme. The white one is the extreme mauler.
Yep, the white one's the extreme.
So extreme mauler with my my red-lined inverter because it charges for free.
Yep.
I swing. So sadly, I forgot during this entire game that I have precision strike, and that allows me to place the damage where I want it. And I also forgot that my red line jack gets +2 strength as well, so I would have been hitting at POW 22.
Yeah.
Again, I believe I was boosting the damages to make the best bang for my buck.
Yes, you were, and a couple of those rolls you had were pretty good.
Yeah.
There were a couple of double 5s and 6s and stuff.
But no Grievous over there, so there's nothing I could.
You did decently. You got him about half down, I think. But the healing was definitely helping there.
Remembering that I was +2 on all of those hits would have helped a little bit.
Yeah, that would have.
And I believe that was the bulk of my turn. Oh, and I ran my mechanics over into the far left zone to start scoring there, and that puts me up to 1 point, and then I pop it over to you.
Yeah, so this is where I really went into the think tank, thinking about a few things, and because I'm looking at this, and you've only got your 1 jack in front of the extreme mauler, and you've only got him and your corollary. Your corollary. Those are the only things between my 3 maulers and your caster.
Yeah. Oh, and a little one servitor.
There's 1 servitor there, which it's just it's
he's in the way. That's all he's there.
Yeah, it's in the way. But nice thing is it's small. Maulers are large. Trample's a thing.
Yep.
So I get thinking about the best way to do it. Because I got to be careful how I do this, because you popped your feet, so everything I do that takes any type of fury is going to make you better.
Yes,
because you get to put all your fancy little tokens all over the place.
That's right.
To make whatever stat is it whatever stats you want?
No, it's +1 defense and +1 armor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and magical weapons.
Still not bad, but luckily though it does only go to a maximum of +3.
That's right. Yeah.
Because that's anything more than that gets a little tricky.
Yeah.
But I started doing the math, and I figure if I pop one of Doomy's scrolls, see, one of his scrolls, it's the scroll of the Call of Trollkin. It means my war beasts gain 0 fury points when they're forced to use their animus. So I can get up there, and I can get a raged mauler in there doing some damage. Now, it would be a power strength 21, but one of your shots there you killed the elder of my stone.
Oh, right.
So that means I can't get the stone strength from that, which would give me the +1. So I started trying to do the math in my head. I realized, I probably can't destroy, is that the galvanizer?
That's an inverter.
Okay, I probably can't destroy the inverter, or if I could, the numbers aren't great, but I could do a great thing and to get him out of the way still. And
It's what trolls love to do.
oh yeah, so I turn around, I give that one, I activate that Mauler first. He pays for the Rage Animus, and then I pay to do a two-handed throw.
Is this not the turn that you did your scroll that allowed you to force for free?
I haven't. Yeah, I do end up doing it, but I didn't do it here because that means activating Doomshaper.
I see. Yeah.
So I do that.
And I put a token on the inverter.
Yeah, and we do the roll off, and sure enough, I scored higher because
I'm +2 strength, but you're getting an additional die.
Yeah, so. I'm getting additional die, and I was 1 strength higher. Yep. We do move you into place, but then I realized that you can't be knocked down. So I decided to change that, and I throw you at your little galvanizer guy.
Yep.
We do take the time to double check the throw rules here.
Yes.
Because he's got another inverter.
Cipher in the way, yeah.
Oh yeah, Cipher, whatever. You got one of your clockwork suckers there.
Yeah. So we were just confirming, we could not remember if a throw would go over top of other models, and we verified that it will, you'll hit an equal or larger size base.
So yeah, that worked out pretty well actually, because so the model I threw takes a POW 15, and so does the other model. And I actually ended up doing some serious damage.
And I'm 19 on one of the jacks and 20 on the other jack for armor.
Oh yeah, and I still did like a 7 to 1. I think I did 7 points of damage to one and 9 to the other.
Yeah, it was pretty big for sure.
Pretty good job for just cracking some heads together.
Yeah, for straight strength for sure.
Oh yeah. See, that's the thing, the Maulers, they can get so much done with the Rage Animus, and that's why I wanted to. That's one of the real fun things I wanted to try with this list. Is just going, balls to the wall, just rage out all. Have those 4 Maulers just raging and just charging into your opponent.
Well, with that scroll that you have, that's crazy too. Yeah. So. Yeah,
that's part of that's one of the main reasons I did it with Doomy 3.
Yeah. That's
so
huge.
Now that we've got you moved over and I cracked your skulls in, which was really funny. Now it's like, okay, well, we got that part of it clear. I believe this is where I move up. Yeah, we do double check to make sure that your facing's right, so I can just run past you and not get no free strikes against me.
Because the 4-legged jacks cannot be knocked down. So.
Yeah, stupid suckers. So I believe then I activated Doomy 3, and it's like, okay. Oh no, sorry. I activate the Rune Bearer first.
Always harmonious first.
Yep, harmonious exaltation. Go for the go for the implacability. I move him up. I give my Maulers, give them rush so that they can run through the rough terrain that's up there by Locke and your corollary.
Yep. And I'm putting tokens on Locke because I'm seeing a potential assassination coming. So.
Yeah, this gets a lot of fun here as I start just handing out all the Pathfinder, because this was the turn that I just handed a ton of it out.
Yep.
So double check a few things here, and I get looking at it. Now I admit my measurements were a little off, but still ended up being pretty good. As I decided to leave. I left Doomy sitting on, I think it was 3 this round, just because I realized, it's either things are going to work or things are not going to work. It's not going to work hard.
Yeah.
No, sorry, actually, I left him on 2.
Okay.
So I take my silver Mauler there, I think it is, once I move my hand. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we check, we actually do the silver Mauler, and he does his charge. And he goes right after your corollary.
Yeah.
I'd originally planned to throw it, but I have to I have to hope for a chain attack, grab and smash for that.
Yep.
So I turn around and turns out the dice really don't like his corollary.
Well, you were dice +3, so in this instance, you probably were better with outrage.
Yeah. Well.
But you were dice +3.
Oh no, yeah, because I popped my scroll now, so he uses rush to get up there, and then he gets and then once there he pops rage himself.
Yeah.
So it's he gets in there and he ends up just destroying your corollary with 2 attacks.
Yes, yeah, because you did not chain attack, smash and grab. Nope. You have to hit me with both of your initials.
Yep, exactly.
But
so
after that, I was dead.
Yeah, after those 2 initials, it would have been trying to headbutt some rubble.
So that was actually actually a blessing in disguise because Locke is
that was
still
pretty
standing.
good. So then we do the measurements here, and I find that it's off. Things are just off, and Dave is being saved here by a quarter of an inch. So we get the proxies down, figure it all out, and So congratulations, Dave. You were saved by a quarter of an inch.
That was
And women say that doesn't matter.
Yep, it was size matters. It's I was good there.
Realizing my plan's gone down the pooper, I take a minute to kind of just think about it, and I figure, you know what? What the heck? This has been a really fun game anyway. I want to go in there and have some fun, and so I end up moving my Mauler up to the proxy base that we measured out. So I've got Locke scared. Let's just put it this way: she's not painted, but I think she's got the brown pants now.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see how it went because I have 3 tokens on me, so I was def 17, armor 20. So you're having to boost to hit.
Yeah, boost to hit, but
you're needing
the
11.
potential. The potential there is if I boost to hit you twice with the 2 and main initials, then I can go for the headbutt attack.
Yes,
and that will knock you down.
Yes, yeah.
So you're still taking the first 2 initials are going to be power strength 19. Yeah. So dice off 1. Yeah. Then the headbutt's going to be power strength 15. Yeah. And then whatever else I put into.
Yeah. So the key is hitting those two 11s would be. Would be the key. So.
People, troll players. If you really need to get something knocked down, it's worth it to boost those 2 initials to get the headbutt.
Yeah, chain attack, smash, and grab is really good.
It's amazing. But failing that, I decided, you know what, it still puts me in a good place to score some points. So instead, I turn my attention and I just destroy your objective.
Yep. No, fair enough. Because you trampled, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you trampled. It was not a run.
Yeah, I trampled over your ball.
Because there was a ball in front of it. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. I stepped on your balls. Yep. So I could get up in your girl's face.
That hurts.
And I stole and I wrecked your objective.
Yeah.
And so then I realized it's like, okay, this is more just damage control or / what the heck. Let's see what I can destroy in the meantime. Yeah. My Mauler. The last Mauler I have here, he decides to go after, is it your little Galvanizer guy?
Galvanizer is the this guy here?
No, it's the little guy that put, the guy.
Yes, Galvanizer, is the correct Grievous guy. Yeah.
I decided to get a little revenge for Mulg and went after the one that's Grievous him and destroyed him incredibly quickly. Yeah. And what the heck? I ended up smashing into your guy up in the top there for a couple points of damage. Yeah. And pass it on to you.
It's over to me. So my goal for this turn is to not die.
I used and I remembered each turn. Important thing, hyper regeneration on Doomy to get those few points back each turn.
It matters when you take damage at the beginning, for sure.
Oh, definitely.
So my plan is to run Locke far to the left flank to keep her away from all the jacks, and also to use my heavies on my left flank to kill my vectors to kill the Mauler that's in the left zone, so that I can score that left zone, and hopefully stay up on the scoring. We're both very very low on clock. So you're pooping out some whelps here as I'm wailing on your Mauler, and I can't remember how many attacks it takes, but I've got 3 heavies there and end up clearing him out. So the inverter that's way in the back here is actually where the orange proxy is. So that's a little bit deceiving. That one back by the forest is actually not there. He's where the orange proxy is. So and then in the spirit of trying to only do things that matter, after that Mauler's dead, I continue making attacks. Good job, Dave. I believe.
Yeah, that burned a good amount of your clock.
Yeah. It was getting pretty low, but I felt at this point that I could stay up on the attrition. I put I have 3 models in the bottom zone. One of them quite far back to be contesting, and at least one of them on the hill as well. So I'm just putting some damage, I believe, into the white Mauler because I have basically for 3 focus I have an entire suite of heavy attacks from two jacks. So I believe I end up taking out that Mauler after all's
you do take him out.
Yep.
So congrats, you got 2 Maulers down, 2 Maulers to go.
Yep. And at some point, I also rode toward Locke to start moving her to the left.
Yes.
Because on her activation, she is running to stay behind that forest. I believe this is a simulator is now making attacks. Yeah, so you just moved up. You took a free strike, I believe, and you missed on
the stone scribe, he missed his free strike.
So just dropping a ground pounder, and I end up putting you on.
You actually...
I kill you and you tough.
Yeah, you get me down there, and sure enough, the old man toughs.
Yeah.
And again, because of implacability affects his battle group, he's part of the battle group, so he is not knocked down.
Yeah, so that was pretty great. So I'm like, oh man, he's standing up. He's alive. He's got 1 health left.
So you attack me again.
Sit to aim, I believe, with my
with my ball.
And you shrugged that because you had 2.
I had 2
focus left.
Honestly, we were getting really hungry, and Dave was supposed to be buying us Pacho soon, so that's what I did. But I figured, you know what? After Doomy tough, he deserves a bit of a better chance.
Yep.
So I shrugged it off to my Axer, so the Axer takes 1 whole point.
Yep.
On my clock, you know, it's pretty low. So, honestly, I should have just moved around a few things and to contest the zones and then clocked it over to Dave.
Yeah.
That would have been the smart and logical thing to do. But I'm tired and hungry, and honestly, we're just having more fun than anything. So I figured I'd just go and try to destroy some things.
Yep.
The 2 maulers I have left, I reaped as much fury as I could off them, but one of them actually ended up to frenzying. Luckily, though, his jack was close enough.
Yep, just by like a sliver, he was close.
Oh yeah, so he wrecked that, and unfortunately, though, that one jack being there means I can't really run after Locke.
Yep.
So I just turned around, tried to hit a few things, and
because it was the blue mauler that frenzied, right? So he's now in the way of your silver. Yeah.
So I Doomy. I have him stranglehold the ball that you moved up to block Doomy, and then he moves up again and does another stranglehold on the jack that's up there blocking my mauler. Does a few points of damage, but unfortunately it's not enough, so I can't get him out. And I'm trying to figure out if like rushing or running or anything can work, and it's not going to happen. And I think this is where I turn around and clock.
Yep, that looks like 0 there. So that puts me up to, I guess, 3 technically. But that was weird. Both down. I was at a minute 34. My goal at this point was just to basically run stuff in the way to block where you could get and continue scoring until somebody clocked. I think both of us, if we both had more practice, it would have definitely been better on clock. So, and forgetting all the rules is good times too. So, but it was a good game. It's fun game for birthday week. We're just here to throw some dice and have a good time. And appreciate the game.
Even if I did mess with you a little bit by throwing out that fake list.
That was, I was just like, okay, well, it prevented me from dropping Clockwork Legions because that would have been really bad. But no, it was a fun game. That many maulers and with Doomy is a pain in the butt because it's really hard to chew through if you don't have access to something like.
Yeah, this list is fun enough. I might actually just try practicing with it a bit more and just see what kind of other crazy shenanigans I can pull off with it.
It hits hard. I think its biggest weakness is potentially scenario. If it's something that's really live and spread out, then you have to spread out really far, which makes it.
So spread the net.
Yes, spread the net or Mirage would be a little interesting. So, but thank you for the game, sir, and thank you guys for watching. If you're enjoying the content we're creating, be sure to hit like on that video and subscribe to the channel for future content. And we will have the matchup next time posted, and we will see you next time.
And remember, folks, if you're in the Kamloops area and are interested in learning to play Warmachine, we are looking at starting up a slow grow league, hopefully soon. But just get in touch with us on Facebook at the Kamloops Open Gaming Group, or even Mr. Dave Avery himself.
Yep, through the DeathClock Dave page.
We're always happy to teach people, and more people the better.
Yep, the more people there are to punch us, the better. So, all right, thanks guys. Have a good night, and we will see you next time.
Pudding.